name's Jennifer Gray and I work for PSA Peugeot Citroen, and that incorporates the Peugeot and Citroen brand, Bank Peugeot Finance and the retail group. A typical day in my line of work, that's very difficult to answer because there doesn't appear to be a typical day, I would say. In any day there's lots of meetings with people, etc., but in my line of work, looking after training and recruitment, there's really different challenges throughout the year. So early year we're talking to managers about what their training needs are for the year, what they need from their staff in order to achieve their objectives, and so we start out very busy in the year there. Obviously we have assessment centres going on, so that can be a very untypical day, I'd say, but certainly very exciting to meet students and assess them and really find the right candidates for us. Other days can include meetings with suppliers, trying to find the right people to work with in the future, and coming up to universities like I am today. So I don't think there is a typical day, but it's certainly a very exciting job. So PSA looks for real competence in our graduate scheme. So we don't mind about the degree that people do. We're quite open to look at various degrees. French is always a bonus because we're a French company, and therefore people that have studied languages, we're always, open arms to them. But really what we're looking for is people that have the competence to build and maintain good relationships in the workplace, people that can communicate well, people that can be well organised, people that can see problems coming and find solutions to them and implement those sorts of things quickly, and a range of other things besides. So it's really looking for integrity in people and looking for them to really shine out. We need people that are willing to be mobile throughout the UK, particularly with our commercial vacancies, because it will be very important for them to go and visit dealerships, get involved with the running and the management of dealerships throughout their careers. But also, being a multinational company, we have opportunities worldwide, and therefore anybody who is interested in a truly global career, we have the right opportunities for them. What makes a graduate stand out is really seeing that they've put the effort into the application forms. It is a tough market right now, it is hard to get graduate jobs, but there are simple things that every graduate can do that can really make a difference. Simple things like spell checking, actually. Many people don't do that, and just simply checking through the form, making sure that you've used the correct company name is a great start for any graduate, because lots of people do fall down there. But in addition, really picking out the experiences they've got. So things that can really help people stand out are work experience, having had an industrial placement year or a summer placement, anything like that that can really help them stand out. Any voluntary work that they've done, anything they've done through school, any additional activities they've been involved in at university. If they can really articulate those examples well in application forms and in interviews and really show how what they did made a difference, then I think that will really help them to stand out. I know organisational awareness is one of the key elements of the WOW programme, but it's so important for graduates, wherever they're applying to know about that company that they're going to work for. It really helps them to stand out against the competition. Just the simple thing of knowing what the most recent products are, how they're doing in the market, what the latest news is in relation to that organisation will really make a difference when they're at interview, and it will help them to stand out. I think that's such an important part of their interview. When graduates are being interviewed, the most common thing is nerves. Lots of graduates feel really nervous, and that can then really put them off their stride in answering the questions correctly or in the best way that, in a way that really reflects them well. So I think just knowing before they go in that the people that are going to be sitting opposite them want them to do well. They want to see the best of them, want that person to feel comfortable and show what they're capable of. So I think perhaps bearing that in mind would help some graduates to start with. But then many graduates are very quick to answer questions, perhaps thinking of the first thing that comes to mind. There's nothing wrong with a graduate just taking a couple of moments to think about the answer they want to give. I think another tip for any graduate is perhaps just double checking at the end of answering a question. Have I answered that question for you? Does that give you the information that you need? And that then gives the interviewer the opportunity to say, well, can you tell me a little bit more about this? Or can you explain that a little further? I think just qualifying their answers, making sure that what they've answered is what the interviewer was looking for would probably help there. I think that the structure of the WOW programme is excellent because it really does listen to what businesses need. Having seen the competencies that are covered in the WOW programme, they relate almost identically to those that we look for in students. And therefore, anybody who goes through that programme and completes the tasks associated with that is really setting themselves up very well for a job within both the organisation I work for, but lots and lots of other organisations that have very similar requirements from their graduates. I think it's a fantastic programme. I think that the WOW certificate at the moment is doing something that lots of other universities aren't doing, and that is really listening to the businesses and what they need from people and making sure that your students, Liverpool John Moore Uni students, have got the skills they need to be ready for those jobs. It's a gap that lots of universities haven't yet covered, and therefore I think you're giving the students a real advantage in covering all those key skills off so that they're ready to go into the graduate market.